Okay, let's just make sure the microphone sound levels are good. Yeah, we're looking good. And we'll pull up Navigraph as well, so we can chart our flight in both LittleNavMap and Navigraph. Okay, so there's our basic route. I'm just going to go and pull up the weather because I have a horrible feeling it's going to be horrific. Oh, and no, it's just on a departure, so we can kind of skirt around it, which we're planning to do anyway. So we're on the ground in Batumi with the Black Square Turbine Duke this time in Flight Simulator. We're going to go and open the aircraft up and go into flight performance, mass and balance, and fuel, and make sure it's fueled up. So we'll go and give it, say, 75% of its full capacity. Load the aircraft with that. Okay, so we have got say intentions running in the background. We are outside of the US, obviously, so even though I have got alpha access to their living world, we're not going to see much in the way of GA aircraft around, because at the moment they're only injecting those aircraft into the United States. So yeah, it's going to be pretty horrific weather. If we go and have a look around, you can see it's horrible out there. But then it's not everywhere though, so not all directions. So, but there was a flash of lightning there, then wasn't there? We'll see how we get on. Okay, so we're inside the airplane. I'm just going to go and on the second screen pull up the startup procedure for the aircraft. So I've put a link in the notes of the video. I follow my own procedure basically to get most airplanes running, which cuts out a lot of the things you might not want to necessarily go delving around in. So we're going to look for Duke and find the Turbine Duke instructions, and I'm just loading them on a second screen. I wish I could drag it across, but it's a separate computer, so I guess I could show you very briefly what I'm talking about here. If I go and open a browser and go to drive.google.com, so show you exactly what I'm talking about. So if I search in here for Duke, and I can see the 2024 Turbine Duke start procedure. And if I pull this up on the screen, it's interesting, I can't actually grab the edge of the window. There we go. So it goes through lots of things like how to set up custom views, how to do the walk around, and then into pre-flight and goes through everything you need to do. So preparing for engine start, starting the engines, post-engine start, and so on and so forth. So it goes through everything. You know, all of the obvious things. Obviously, you can extend that procedure quite significantly with further bits and pieces, especially in the Black Square airplanes, because they support so many different things. So let's go work through this together and get it up and running, shall we? So pre-flight, first thing we're going to do is open the tablet. We're going to go and have a look and make sure the doors are closed. So yes, they would be lit up if they were open. We can see how much fuel. Obviously we could reset the fuel here as well. The chocks and pitot covers and everything have already been removed, which is good. Just for those that are interested, if we go and put some of these things in place, I can show you what they look like. So we'll put the engine heater on as well. So it's quite comprehensive, isn't it? They do look the part. So let's go and remove all of that again. And we're going to go and get the engines up and running. Excuse me. So first things first, we're going to remove the control locks. So let's make sure what controls I've got configured here. So we've got the engines. I'm going to change my controls slightly. because I want to be able to use the propellers. I've only actually got 2 levers. I'm using an Airbus controller. So we're going to press escape, go settings, go to controls, go to the throttle quadrant and switch it over to basic throttle and propeller. So what that really means is, in terms of my controls, is I can now control both throttles on one lever and both propeller levers on the other lever, which makes life a lot easier for me. Okay, so shift and 9 will let us look at the floor. We want to make sure that both of the fuel selectors are pointing forwards, and they are. Then we're going to press, before we get much further, I just want to go and check. There's the sound I'm going to turn the sound, in the airplane to about -10, so saying tensions when it comes alive doesn't drown me out. Okay, so that's the fuel selectors on the floor done. So shift and 4 takes us over to the lower instrument panel. We can go and put the beacon light on. And then shift and 6 takes us over to the left side switches. You don't have to use these key combinations. It's just handy for people that struggle to find things. Obviously, once you're familiar with where things are, you can just look around with the normal view. So battery select, it goes to either battery 1 or battery 2 as you require. We're going to go and put the battery master to on. Does this have a middle setting? Yeah, it does look. So you can have both. So 1, both, or 2. So we're going to leave it on both. You can see some of the instruments coming to life with the battery master coming on, which is interesting because the avionics power is off. Anyway, so ignition switches, left ignition to on or up, and right ignition to on or up. Then we're going to start the left engine. So left side switches. I'm going to do this from the normal view so you get some idea of where things are. We can get rid of the warnings, by the way. So just reading down through my own notes. We're going to turn the left starter to on, and then we're going to monitor the RPM, which is over here. So the NG RPM, % RPM. So we're going to go left engine first then. So here's the starter, look. So we're going to go starter on. And you will see the RPM start to climb. When it gets above 15, we're going to advance the condition lever. So you can see that's spinning the engine up using electrical power to do that. So it's gone beyond 15. So we're going to advance. And then we're going to wait until RPM gets beyond about 50, 52%, and then the starter can go over to generator. So at the moment it's click down to start. So we've gone through 50, so that can go forward now to generator. Okay, so then right starter down, same process. Wait for it to get past about 15%. And while we're watching that number, we can be ready to advance the fuel control lever or condition lever. So there it goes. So then we introduce fuel, and you'll see the fuel flow has gone up. Inter-turbine temperature is climbing. I haven't flown this aeroplane for about 18 months or more, so I've flown the piston jig recently. So it's gone beyond 50%, so we can go over to generator instead of starter. So having done that, post-engine start, we're going to press Shift and 7 to look at the oil door settings. And we're going to go left to open and right to open. Then on the lower instrument panel, exterior lights, we're going to go and put the nav lights on. Then over here we're going to go and put the inverter on, so main inverter, and a master avionics power switch comes on. So you'll see everything's booting up around the cockpit now. So let's go and jump in and clear the messages on the. This is the TDS GTN 750, by the way. It's an external add-on.
TOS system test OK.
So we've done the GPS. We'll put the transponder on standby mode. We'll go and put this on self-test mode for a few moments. Seems to be working okay, doesn't it? Hidden inside of here is the status of the aeroplane. It's rather craftily hidden by a black square. Okay, so, and do we have ADF? We do, and it's already on, which is interesting. So a lower right instrument panel, so shift and 5. We're going to go and put the cabin temperature as required, so we're going to say auto heat. Pressurization, we're only going to be flying a few thousand feet, so we're not really going to need to worry about, yeah, you can see that the minimum here is 10, so we're not going to be going that high, or I don't think we are, but we can always come back to this if we need to. Then back into the cockpit, we're going to press comma to calibrate the altimeter. We'll set the altitude pre-selector, so let's go and have a quick look then. So we are sat on the ground using up fuel at the moment. And this airfield is at 12 feet. So if we say we fly, say 5,000 feet, just as a beginner, or beginning altitude to fly at today. Or no, let's go for 3. ATC may have different ideas, of course, but we'll see what they tell us. We're just going to do VFR, even though it's horrific conditions. We're just going to get flight following. We're not going to bother with a failed flight plan, because then it gives us the freedom to go do whatever we want along the way. Okay, so weather radar is in standby, ADF is on, cabin temperature is done, pressurization is done. We've set the altitude pre-selector. We could set the heading bug to the runway direction as well. So we're going to be taking off runway 30, I think. So we'll just bring that around. We'll check. We've got our basic flight plan in the system. So flight plan, we're taking off from Batumi. We're going via KTS. In Georgia, and then we're going to TBS, which is Tbilisi, and it's going to be the one in Georgia, and then Ganja. Let's just check that. GND is the VOR. Enter, and this is the one in Azerbaijan. And our final destination today is the Yevlakh airport. Uniform Bravo Echo Echo. Yevlakh. There we go. So that's our basic flight plan put in. We can go and get rid of the messages from the TDS. And we can put the flight plan legs in here, put the map on here, and we're almost good to go. Okay, so we don't really need to worry about the course on the HSI at the moment. Set OBS to the nav mode required. OBS is in GPS mode, which is good for us. Check the CDI mode. The RNAV switch is above the instrument stack, so it's up here, look. So nav1 versus RNAV. So RNAV would be using the radios versus the GPS. So shift and 4, we're going to go and turn on the pitch trim power. That's giving the autopilot basically power to control the surfaces. And over here, oh, I've got the wrong key press. Oh no, it is correct. So we're looking at the autopilot. So we can pre-select modes on the autopilot. Obviously you can see it's off. But we've got heading mode preset. We've got attitude hold mode, which is fine. Okay, so shall we go taxi? So let's get our taxi taxi lights on. We won't do the probe heats or anything until we get to the runway. Let's go and test out say intention, see if it's awoken. So tower, we don't have ground, do we? Should we get a map of the airport as well?
Tower, Infinity 3267, requesting IFR.
Here's the Batumi, is
airport, please.
So we're going to be taxiing straight out on, on Alpha.
Batumi Tower, Swiss 1123, we are requesting start of clearance, please.
So I'm being asked, is Heathrow IndyBuild's performance good? Well, it is for me. Your experience may vary. Depends very much on the computer you're using and the hardware it has. Tower, Duke, Golf Juliet Bravo Echo Kilo, requesting taxi to runway 30.
Duke Bravo Echo Kilo, runway 30, taxi at your discretion.
Taxi at our discretion, runway 30, Bravo Echo Kilo, good day. So, off the parking brake. Oh, we've got, I thought the engines were racing a bit. We've got, let's go and have a look at this just to make sure what's going on. Yeah, these are in the wrong place. I'm just holding it on the parking brake for a moment. What we might have to do to get this to work properly. Let me just check something. Do we get to set or to calibrate the controls in here? We don't, do we? Okay. So what we'll have to do is go into settings and controls. Now what's going on is with this basic throttle and propeller setting I've got, it's going into reverse before it should. So what I'll need to do is go and play with the settings. So I'm going to have to go and make a profile specifically for this aeroplane. So to do that, we're going to click on the cog and duplicate this one. And we'll call this the Duke. Turbine Duke, so black.
Batumi Tower, Alpha 110 for Heavy.
Duke.
It stands 11.
And
request IFR clearance to
so we've now got a profile specifically for this airplane, which is already selected.
Clear to Ben Gurion via the 01 departure. Initial time 4000. Expect flight level 360 after
search by input,
10
and then
minutes.
pull the lever gently backwards.
425 squawk 3655.
So that's what's set up at the moment. And what we want to have a look at.
Read back correct.
So it's not inverted. So here's the curve on the throttle. At the moment, it's going to that point. I have to try and remember how far away we need to do this. So that stays on 0.5 then. What is causing that? Okay, so if it was in the middle, and we say go back, and go back, save and back, let's just have a look at the throttle. Yeah, that's fixed it. So lots of other aeroplanes are not set like that. So anyway, we fixed it. Let's go and taxi out to runway 30. traffic around here, is there? We're in a lesser known part of the world, I'm afraid. Okay, and we'll bring the propellers up now. Okay, we can't actually push the
Batumi Tower, LittleNavMap 5104, extend 13 with QNH 1022,
so
request clearance to Tel Aviv Ben Gurion.
No, not probably, it's stall and pitot heat's on.
Batumi Tower, LittleNavMap 5104, extend 13 QNH 1022, request IFR clearance to Tel Aviv Ben Gurion.
I'm working on that clearance. Stand by.
Okay, let's go and put the weather radar on. I wonder if it's going to work. It's saying the ignition is still on, which we probably don't need, do we? We'll put it to auto. I'm just looking at the lights over here. So left engine ignition, left oil door is open, right oil door is open. I'm just going to read through the rest of the notes here. So nav lights are on, landing lights are now on as well. Ice deflect, and that is here. That can go to on. Okay, so we're ready to go. Tower, Duke, Golf, Juliet, Bravo, Echo, Kilo, lined up, runway 30, ready for takeoff.
Duke Bravo, Echo Kilo, runway 31, winds 240 at 24, cleared for takeoff.
Cleared for takeoff, Bravo, Echo, Kilo. This is going to be fun. That wind. Gear up. There was some lightning up there, wasn't there?
White 923 copies, cleared to burgers. Radio access to RP, initial climb to 4000 feet, expecting flight level 340, 10 minutes after departure. Departure frequency on 124.425, squawk 5154, White 923.
White 9023. That's correct.
So we're going to be flying straight into the teeth of the storm. We're coming up towards 3,000 feet, which is why we're lighting up over here. So we're in heading mode. I've just gone and spun the heading bug around. We want to be flying out this way. So 40 degrees according to so there's Batumi disappearing in the cloud behind us. Okay, I think we need to go and request flight following. Tower, Duke, Golf, Juliet, Bravo, Echo, Kilo, requesting flight following.
Duke Bravo Echo Kilo. Unable to provide flight following. Contact Batumi approach on 124.425 for radar services.
Contacting Batumi approach 124.425 for radar services. Duke Golf Juliet Bravo Echo Kilo, good day. Batumi approach Duke Golf Juliet Bravo Echo Kilo with you 3,300 feet, requesting flight following. Yeah, the radar's working, Nick.
Duke Bravo Echo Kilo, squawk 3574 and ident. 118.6. Tower, very good day. Request descent. Skyhawk 3 Alpha Zulu, say again your request.
We haven't actually put that on, have we? Okay. They should see that now. And report back to us with a little bit of luck. Did ident work? It will now. Batumi approach. Duke Golf Juliet Bravo Echo Kilo, squawking 2574.
Duke Bravo Echo Kilo, negative squawk 3574 and ident.
Ah, that'd be why. Misheard them.
Duke Bravo Echo Kilo, radar contact. 7 southwest of Kobuleti Airfield at 3,000 feet. Kobuleti altimeter 1017.
018, that's close enough. Okay, so we are away from the airfield. I'm going to leave our landing lights on in this horrific weather. We don't need the ice deflect on, I don't think, anymore. What else can we have a look at up here? The oil doors can be closed as well. .70 degrees in the cockpit. We're okay. Just looking at the engine gauges, so we're not pushing the engines much at all. Let's give it a bit more welly. RPM is good, although it's looking a bit fast actually. It's got constant speed propellers, hasn't it, almost? But you can see the propeller speed here, look. And there's the gas turbine speed. It's an interesting one.
Owl 7, climb and maintain flight level 280.
And we've cleared out of that initial storm. We're out across the countryside. So you can see the storm disappearing behind us. There's some proper rumbles of thunder behind us, aren't there? So, now it's complaining about the oil doors being closed. Let's open them again. It's detecting ice, isn't it? I know it's going to complain that they're open. So the weather works nicely. Or the weather radar, I should say. Shall we ask to go higher above the clouds? I'm not sure if we'll be allowed. Let's have a look at the map first. There are only big airports around that would have airspaces that we're not allowed into. Tbilisi. Class C airspace. I'm just going to get a drink of water in a minute.
Duke Bravo Echo Kilo, contact Kutaisi, approach on 127.1.
Contacting Kutaisi approach 127.1, Bravo Echo Kilo, good day. Kutaisi approach, Duke Golf Juliet Bravo Echo Kilo with you 3,000 feet en route past Tbilisi to the southeast.
Duke Bravo Echo Kilo, good afternoon.
So it might be wise to not fly directly over the airport and fly down the side of it before we get into too much trouble. So let's go heading mode. Obviously this doesn't make any difference while we're on GPS. I got this backwards earlier, didn't I? I said that our nav was. So our nav is GPS, yeah. Nav 1 is obviously using the nav radios.
Duke Bravo Echo Kilo, what's your final?
Final destination is Yevlakh in Azerbaijan.
Duke Bravo Echo Kilo, contact Tbilisi Control on 135.75.
Contacting Tbilisi Control 135.75. Bravo Echo Kilo, good day. Tbilisi Control, Duke Golf Juliet Bravo Echo Kilo with you 3,000 feet en route to Yevlakh in Azerbaijan. We'll be overflying Tbilisi.
Duke Golf Juliet Bravo Echo Kilo, Tbilisi radar, good afternoon, Ozergeti, altimeter 1015.
Tbilisi radar, Golf Juliet Bravo Echo Kilo requesting higher altitude.
Bravo Echo Kilo, climb your requested altitude.
Climbing 5,000 feet, Golf Juliet Bravo Echo Kilo. So we'll set the selector and then we'll go to an altitude, or we go to altitude mode, don't we? And then we roll this up. We don't use the aileron trim by accident. So you can see we've got some vertical speed now, and it should snap back to altitude hold when it gets to the altitude. Well, that's the plan.
Duke Bravo Echo Kilo, contact Kutaisi departure on 127.1.
Contacting Kutaisi departure 127.1, Bravo Echo Kilo. Good day. Kutaisi departure, Duke Golf Juliet Bravo Echo Kilo with you, climbing to 5,000 feet.
Duke Golf Juliet Bravo Echo Kilo, Kutaisi departure, good afternoon, Ozergeti, altimeter 1014.
That's synchronized. No, it isn't. So it's just approaching, it's within 1,000 feet, that's why you heard the sound and why it's flashing.
Duke Golf, Juliet Bravo, Echo Kilo, Kutaisi departure, maintain VFR altitude.
We were cleared to 5,000 feet for VFR passing Tbilisi, Bravo Echo Kilo. We're nowhere near Tbilisi yet, it's 100 miles away, but shall we switch back to nav mode? Let the aeroplane track the route itself. So we're at 5,000 feet and it's gone to altitude hold. Oh, I don't know why I've started coughing, I haven't coughed all day. Now that's a rainstorm. Turn the landing lights off. And the taxi light. No need to have them on. If we are going to be getting dark in the cockpit, I've just turned the panel lights on purpose, just so we have some hope of being able to see things. Just about to switch over onto the next leg on the GPS, so we'll zoom out, there it goes. So you can see the route ahead. Okay, let's go and have a little play with St. Engines. We're going to give ourselves, oh, we haven't got an IFR flight plan, have we? And you can't do one while you're in flight. I was going to say I could get the co-pilot to take over air traffic communications, but there we go, and we're in the rain. And well, it's given the aeroplane a nice wash, isn't it? And we're into it again. Okay, so you can see the weather radar, we can see the map. We're looking okay so far. gorgeous part of the world, isn't it? Georgia is one of those places that not many people have visited, not many people know about. It's an incredible place. So, just reading the notes there, I don't think the ATC that's built into the game was written by Microsoft. This whole simulator was written by Asobo. It started out as a secret project about 5 years before 2020 came out. So it was all, behind closed doors for about 5 years. And then 2020 finally released. To be honest, I can see the comment there about it running on Xbox. To be honest, I'm stunned that it runs on an Xbox at all. I don't know if anybody else has seen the news this week that there are rumours, and it is only rumours, that there's a PlayStation 5 version of Flight Sim being tested. Like I said, take that with a pinch of salt. It's all rumours. Probably a slow news day, but it may be true. It may not. Okay, we need to pay attention to our route and whether we're going to get too close to some of these hills. Because yeah, this is going to pass straight through them, through the gap in between them. Once we clear them, I think we'll be good all the rest of the way. It's kind of lowlands. All the way into our destination. But just this part of the route, we're going to be passing along past quite a lot of hills.
Roger, Canada Air 3023.
This plane is modelled amazingly well, isn't it? It's very, very good. Look at the heat pouring out of the exhaust down there. How are we doing on the instruments? We're zooming along, aren't we? 180 knots, look. We're going to be going into this wall of water soon now. I wonder if we should request descent back down to about 3,000 feet. I don't think we're going to hit any high hills along the way. Who are we talking to at the moment? Kutaisi departure. Kutaisi departure, Duke Golf Juliet Bravo Echo Kilo requesting descent to 3,000 feet.
Duke Bravo Echo Kilo, descend and maintain 3,000 feet.
Descending 3,000 feet, Bravo Echo Kilo. So just watching the vertical speed there. And here comes the altitude off. Keep an eye on the airspeed. Let's pull the power back a bit. zoom in a bit on the map as well. This has a terrain mode somehow, doesn't it? Menu, terrain mode, there we go. And it will at least warn us what's in our way. So obviously we're descending as well. And this will, the TORS test will, sorry, the TORS system will tell us about anything that's directly in our path in front of us. It'd be quite amusing if it goes off, to be honest. So we're now down to 4,000, descending 3,000. Half the reason for me descending is to cause all this to happen, so you get to see something. So I'm ready to cancel the autopilot at a moment's notice. So let's go and turn the head tracking on, and we'll have a gaze out of the window in the mist. We've got 700 feet left to descend. I'm going to increase
terrain
the power
ahead.
a little bit. Here we
Terrain
go.
ahead.
So look at this.
Terrain ahead. Terrain ahead.
And there's the hill. Okay, so what we're going to do...
Terrain ahead. Terrain ahead. Pull
Yes.
up.
Cancel
Terrain
the
ahead.
autopilot.
Pull up. Terrain
going
ahead.
red.
Pull up. Terrain ahead.
It's good, isn't it? So we'll just clear these hills and then we'll continue on down to 3,000. If we go and zoom in a bit further.
Terrain ahead.
Then you can
Terrain
see there's
ahead.
the hill.
Pull up. Terrain ahead. Pull up. Terrain ahead. Pull up. Terrain ahead.
Let's
Pull.
go into the
Terrain
valley
ahead.
alongside.
Terrain ahead. Terrain ahead. Terrain ahead. Pull up. Terrain ahead. Pull up.
Isn't it funny how
Terrain
the voice
ahead.
gets more
Pull
high-pitched
up.
as it gets more
Terrain
urgent?
ahead. Pull up. Terrain ahead. Terrain ahead. Pull up. Terrain ahead. Pull up. Terrain ahead. Pull up. Terrain ahead. Pull up. Terrain ahead.
It will shut up in a moment. There he goes.
Terrain ahead. Pull up. Terrain ahead. Pull up. Terrain ahead. Pull up. Terrain ahead. Pull up.
Okay, so what we'll do is get going the direction we want to be going, and then we will engage heading mode. And altitude hold for the moment, and we'll probably get another alarm in a moment. Trying to thread this needle down through here. Shall we look from outside?
Terrain ahead. Terrain ahead.
So it's warning that the hills
Terrain
to
ahead.
our right,
Terrain
we
ahead.
would hit them.
Terrain ahead.
It's good, isn't
Terrain
it?
ahead. Terrain ahead. Terrain ahead. Terrain ahead. Terrain ahead. Terrain ahead.
We don't
Terrain
have to
ahead.
listen to it, by the
Terrain
way.
ahead. Pull up.
We can just inhibit it. And it will go off again. But only once it's got away from the immediate warning. Weather just updated by the look of it. So yes, we're being asked in the live stream if this airplane, this is the turbine Duke from Black Square, it has been updated for 2024. So if you had previously bought it from Just Flight, for example, if you go and look at it in your account in Just Flight, you will see the download of the 2024 version at no extra cost.
Duke Bravo Echo Kilo, contact Tbilisi departure on 127.2.
Contacting Tbilisi departure 127.2, Bravo Echo Kilo, good day. Tbilisi departure, Duke Golf Juliet Bravo Echo Kilo with you, 4,500 feet en route to Yevlakh in Azerbaijan. So we should be able to do a right turn.
Duke Golf Juliet Bravo Echo Kilo, Tbilisi departure. Good afternoon, Amber Lorry, altimeter 1014.
Still the same on the altimeter. Thankfully, in this aeroplane, we have a radar altitude as well. So when you see that winding in towards 0, you start to panic. You can see faint lines out here in the murk around us. It's quite frightening, isn't it? Not being able to see the hills in front of you. Obviously, we have a map, which is an enormous advantage. So we're going to turn right. Just want to go east along the side of the hills. So, full disclosure, I'm doing this with the time wound back. If I wasn't, it wouldn't look like this. It would look like this. Which is quite cool. But then you wouldn't get to see much, which would be a shame. So I'm going to go and wind the time back, otherwise it's quite boring for you to be able to not see anything. The weather may update again because, yeah, it's going to pull the weather that was happening at the time I've chosen. So I'm being asked, will this aeroplane be updated in the marketplace? I'm guessing so. I'm not sure. I don't know. All I know is I was able to download it from Just Flight about a week ago. So let's go and change our heading again. I'm going to aim for this gap between the hills. We may be okay now, I think, with the weather for the rest of the way. So let's continue on down, not that far. If we go to 3,500 feet for the moment. Here's the vertical speed. You see the speed climbing, so we're going to pull the power back to prevent that from carrying away with itself. And the altitude is coming off. It's flashing because we're within 1,000 feet of our target. So coming in towards the Tbilisi VOR 11370. Let's go and have a play with that, shall we? So nav instruments 11370 is in standby at the moment, so we'll transfer it over. Interesting, why is that not showing? Or maybe we're not quite in, or maybe there's hills in the way of it. What's the range? 108 miles, yeah, so it should be picking us up. Measure distance. We are 50 miles from it, but there's probably hills in the way, which is why we're sometimes not seeing it. Because look, the CDI is not doing anything. And Tbilisi is correct, 11370. We want this. Do we have to match that with this as well? Yes, we do. I didn't realise. No, yeah, it's dropping in and out. Look, there's hills in the way of the signal. So how to activate the autopilot in this aeroplane? The panel is down here, but you also need to have this switch on over here, pitch trim. That provides the power to the control surfaces for the autopilot to be able to actuate them. But then you've got autopilot master on off, heading mode, nav mode, approach mode, back course mode essentially, attitude mode. So once you press that, altitude mode will be dropped, and then you can use the rocker to choose your pitch, and you'll see the change on the vertical speed. So I'm using heading mode at the moment instead of nav because we're a long way from the beacon, and you can see this aeroplane simulates the radio signal not being consistent due to lots of different factors. Open the engine up a little bit. So you can see there's the VOR coming up ahead of us. We are going to cross these hills, so we'll probably get a TORS warning in a moment. There's a non-directional beacon there. Should we have a play with the ADF? There it is, look. 520.
Tbilisi approach, lot 717, flight level 150.
1717 radar contact.
I always forget how these work. You have to push that, don't you? There we go. Then switch that to active, and the ADF should start working. Where's the ADF needle then? There it is. Do we get distance measuring? Yeah, it's down here, look. There's the
6
distance
Echo
measuring
Charlie,
equipment.
contact Tbilisi radar on 125.125.
125.125, 6 Echo Charlie. Thank you, goodbye.
Anyway.
Lot 717, direct to Bessa. Cleared for the ILS Yankee runway 31 left approach. Descend and maintain flight level 070 until established. Down to 7,000, cleared for the ILS Yankee 31 left approach. Lot 717.
So we're obviously going to get a warning very soon about the hills, because we're heading straight for them. So let's go back.
Lot 717, contact Tbilisi Tower on 119.0.
Let's go.
119.0 for lot 717. Good day.
Stay in the valley. So I've never been around this part of the world in the simulator, so this is all new to me. I may have flown into Tbilisi on a group flight in the past. Warning about the, is it the RPM? It's the speed.
Us Rare 8903, contact Tbilisi Tower on 119.0.
Tbilisi Tower on 119.0, Israel 8903.
So once we pass Tbilisi, we carry on down. There's the ridge we're looking to pass through, look to keep the low altitude. So does this have, what airspaces has it got? Class C, Class C, Class C, but that's not to It's controlled 0 to 4,500, so we need to stay out of it really then. Although they're handing us through each controller, aren't they? So they should let us through. They'll inform us. The scenery looks amazing, doesn't it? See if we get a warning. We may not.
Sofia departure, El Alpha 110, passing 3,000 for 6,000 feet.
LL 5110, Tbilisi approach, radar contact, clear direct Zygote, climb flight level 210.
So here's Tbilisi coming up. It's huge.
Clear direct Zygote, climb flight level 210, El Alpha 5110.
Look at this from outside so we get a decent view of the city. Yeah, so look, we can see here wind is 33 knots behind us. We are whistling along. Let's go and turn these off. Wait for the lights to come back on again. I need to read the book about the correct procedures around the use of the oil doors. Because yeah, look, the ice off lights have come on again, and the oil door lights have now come on. So I need to have a read about that to understand it properly. Under what, you know, in what situations are, and we can go and turn them back on, which will stop the warning from happening. So we're coming back in towards the GPS track that we had earlier. So we could switch back to RNAV and then just say nav and then just take over. So we're now in navigation using RNAV, which is GPS. Notice though that this is not seeing GPS mode, which is interesting. So which airport is that directly below us? Let's go and have a look on the map. Tbilisi Sogunlug. That's probably not how you pronounce it. There's obviously the proper airport behind the us nacelle there. There it is, look. There's the international airport. Incredible, doesn't it? So we've got more weather up ahead, probably about 50 miles out in front of us. What is that? Oh, it's the lights on top of some cooling stacks. Or not the lights, it's the light from the sun hitting the steam coming out of the cooling towers, isn't it?
Israel 5107, heavy Tbilisi approach, roger, QNH 1014.
QNH 1014, Israel 5107 heavy. Israel 5107 heavy, establish on final runway 31 left. Clear island approach, runway 31 left, Israel 5107.
Okay, I'm back. Just checking the radio there to make sure we haven't been instructed anything. Having a quick look around inside, we're looking fine. Yeah, so there's the power station with the cooling towers we saw. We can have a little look on the map. What it's called. So the next VOR 11580, let's go do that. So we're flying in on the radial towards it. What radial would we like to be on? 125 degrees. So we look here, which is pretty much what we've got, look. So the aeroplane will try and chase that on the way in. But because, like I said, because you get variation in the radio signal in this accurately simulated aeroplane, it's going to chase all over the place trying to do it. And it keeps losing the signal, look, which is why it's not doing very well at it at all. So I'm going to go back to heading mode. So the ice buildup is why we have the ice deflect turned on, and there's various other things you can switch on, like prop heating and windshield heating, which we can go turn on. I don't think it's quite cold enough today to have to deal with it. See, it looks... It can sometimes be deceiving though. Let's open the power up a bit, go a bit faster. So, is the distance measuring equipment showing us? Yeah, 65 miles to run. And this is straightened up to an extent. It's showing 2. So let's go back to nav mode and see if it will behave itself now. Or if that's a bug. I think that might be a bug, you know. We're overspeeding. So you can't really go faster than about 204 knots. It doesn't like it. Same thing in Navigraph. So flying in towards
IFR to Ashgabat,
VOR, then over towards Yevlakh.
1 second while I grab the paperwork.
So, apologies, Yevlakh. Said that backwards, didn't I? Let's get the microphone near my mouth again.
Duke Golf Juliet Bravo Echo Kilo, Tbilisi departure, contact Ganja departure on 123.9er.
Contact Ganja departure 123.9er, Golf Juliet Bravo Echo Kilo. Good day. What was it? Ganja departure. Ganja departure, Duke Golf Juliet Bravo Echo Kilo with you 3,500 feet. Look at that scenery, it looks real, doesn't it?
Duke Golf Juliet Bravo Echo Kilo, Ganja departure. Good evening, X-Alpha altimeter 1011.
Altimeter 1011, Bravo Echo Kilo. That's incredible. So, Gregorio's asking, when should you use de-icing? Should it be the moment you see it on your windshield? It depends on the hardware and the aircraft and the standard operating procedures for the aircraft. If the aircraft has boots, which are inflatable, so these, I think these are boots, and what it will do is inflate them. Obviously, if you leave them inflated, they're no use to anybody, and they just get covered in ice while they're inflated. So if there are boots on the airplane, and like I said, the different airplanes have different hardware to cope with the ice. If there are boots, you activate the boots and then turn them off again, and that clears them, if that makes sense. It shatters the ice and it falls off. But then if you've just got heating panels, which, you know, sometimes you get the tiny wires in the windscreen, or in the blades, similar deal, there'll be methods of warming the blades up. There's all sorts of techniques and tricks to it, and obviously the control surfaces may well have heating elements in them. The scenery looks incredible, doesn't it? So it's a good question about the heating, though. We should be able to see it in this aeroplane in particular in terms of the amperage and the draw on it when you activate heating. The other aeroplanes, it depends on the systems and the way it works on the aeroplane in question, so you really do need the pilot operating handbook to know for definite what's going to happen. So for example, in the BAE 146, the heating systems use some of the exhaust from the engines, so your maximum continuous thrust is affected by what heating systems you have switched on. I was looking for the ammeter, wasn't I? I'm not sure where it is in this aeroplane. So we've got air, de-icing pressure, we've got... yeah. Maybe it hasn't got, unless it's hidden in here somewhere. This is the fuel data computer though, isn't it? Yeah, that's a really good question actually. I'm sure if you look in the book there's a way of finding all these things out. Okay, so we are hurtling in towards, what's the name of the VOR? The Ganja VOR. I'm sure lots of people are giggling about that being called Ganja, but it's just a different part of the world. doesn't mean the same thing as the slang term in the West. So on our way to Yevlakh. So hello to anybody that wants to say hello in the live stream. Welcome to the flight. Thank you for following on this evening. I'm just progressing on. There's been no new aeroplanes out recently other than the little Cessna from Coronado. So I always promised I would carry on with the round the world legs when I was at a loose end in the simulator. Tonight is one of those evenings. I will be coming back to the big jets fairly soon as well. So the 727 always interests me. It's good fun. Also, I haven't flown the Fokker, the Just Flight Fokker F28, is it, for a while, and that's good fun as well. I do tend to like the older aeroplanes because there's more to do. The newer aeroplanes tend to be, it's almost like programming a computer, and once you've done it and you hit go, your job is then babysitting it rather than actually doing anything much. Although saying that, this flight we've just been playing with navigation radio kit, haven't we, all the way? We haven't actually done much flying. When we get near the airport, we'll take over. But I fear that is the job of most pilots, is to babysit the avionics. So we've got the windshield heating on auto, and it's come up on the display up here, look. So it's not a very lovely day out there. We have got an outside air temperature gauge. I spotted it a moment ago. There it is down here, look. So it's not that cold though. I mean, zero's way over there, look. Or 0 centigrade for freezing point is there. That's Fahrenheit on the outside. Okay, we're coming in towards the VOR, and we can see we've got 15 miles to run until we get there. We are operating in nav mode, so we're in radio navigation mode, so the airplane is tracking the radial. And we're in VLOC mode. So what I'm tempted to do is go over towards heading mode as we get near to the VOR. And we're going to want to exit the VOR on a course of 94 degrees and fly the 40 miles over to Yevlakh. So let's go and get 94 degrees dialed in. We're in nav mode, remember, at the moment, so we can switch this. This is already in Vlog. 94. If I can get this to line up. There we go, 94 degrees. So when the CDI comes in, which will happen, obviously, you can see the offset here of the angle is the same as this, obviously, because that's representing what's going on in just a different way. Let's descend back down to 3,000 feet. So attitude mode, pitch down. There it goes. We'll come off the throttle a bit, otherwise we'll accelerate through our maximum speed. So we should see, yeah, it's already got maximum altitude hold as it gets close to the altitude, so it's going to wind down the descent rate automatically. You can see it doing it. So there's an airport right in front of, or the VOR is right in front of the airport, I should say. Is this Sim Beta 4? No, I never run the betas of Flight Simulator. Mainly because this is not my day job and I don't want to waste my time stress testing or debugging, you know, an unstable simulator. My time is precious to me, so I would rather have a simulator that works. And, you know, all power to the people who do take the risk and install the betas, which can be quite painful sometimes, as far as I understand. But I'm not interested in that, so we're just going to cut left then past the airport and head over towards our final destination, which is Yevlakh. So we're just cutting this corner off. Yeah, you can see that happening. Then we should see when the CDI comes in, we can go and capture it and just fly it out towards our destination. So, question for everybody watching the stream. What are some good books to do with aviation that you've read? Because my other half was asking earlier what I might like to put on my wish list on Amazon for Christmas from her. So I thought I might open it to suggestions in the chat. So if you are watching the live stream and you have access to the live stream chat, would love to know what your favourite aviation related books are. I read a very, very good one years ago called Feet Wet by a retired Navy pilot. Just trying what other books I've read. I've read the book about the tornado. There's a whole series of books by the same author, isn't there? I'm just looking around for them behind me. Yeah, Tornado by John Nichol. Spitfire as well. There's another book called Vulcan 607 about the attack on Port Stanley years ago. Empire of the Clouds I've also got. I've read that. That's really good. It's kind of about the 1950s development of the various aircraft in the UK. I'm trying to think what else. I've got the Dorling Kindersley book about aircraft. A couple of them actually. They're kind of big coffee table books. They're really good. Okay, we can see our destination now on the map. So, we've not got far to go now until the destination. Shall we go and find out what the comm radio frequency is? So we want to be on 94 degrees. Remember, the CDI is coming in. Let's go to nav mode. So it should capture the beam for us, and it's started to turn us gently left right now, look. Very good. Okay, so let's have a look at the destination airport. Comm radio frequencies. Tower 118,500. So should we go do that by hand while we're en route? Or is it going to come up here? So it's going to show Ganja at the moment, but it should flick over to show Yevlakh, but it won't probably do it early enough for us. So we wanted, what was it? 118,500. Oh, let's cancel flight following before we change frequencies. We were talking to Ganja departure, weren't we? The Ganja departure, Duke Golf Juliet Bravo Echo Kilo, terminating flight following.
Duke Bravo Echo Kilo, flight following cancelled. Duke Golf Juliet Bravo.
So we need to change our transponder frequency. I think outside of the US it's more likely to be 7,000. To put it back to Common Traffic Advisory. Standard transponder frequencies. So we could go back to CTAF for the moment. And then so we're hurtling in towards the Yevlakh, so now we can go in 118,500. Let's go do it now. So 118,500. Transfer that to active. Yevlakh Tower, Duke Golf Juliet Bravo Echo Kilo, approaching from the west, requesting full stop landing. Might be a bit far away, but we'll try it.
Duke Bravo Echo Kilo, winds 320 at Niner, runway 30, cleared to land.
Clear to land, runway 30. We'll be with you in a few minutes. We're quite some distance away. So let's go and drop ourselves down to 2,000 feet. What's the altitude of the airport? Let's go and have a check. So, overview, elevation 60 feet. So yeah, we're going right down to 1,500 feet then, or 2,000 to begin with. And then altitude mode, nose down, 1,000 feet a minute. There it goes, look. Dropping out of the sky. So they said we can come in runway 30, so we're going to have to go around the airport and do a left pan, I guess. Hey, we've got ILS to play with. Fantastic fun. 110.1. Before we do that, go and get the heading mode sorted out. So, what direction is the runway? 303 degrees. So this needs to come around to 303. So there's our ILS sorted out for in a few minutes' time. Let's get the landing lights on as well. So we're down at 2,000 feet now. let's take it down to 1500. Oh, that's the wrong thing to be pressing. Just correcting the barometric pressure. This one, isn't it? 1500 feet. And attitude mode, take us down. Sitting comfortably then, because then we'll be taking over in a moment. Get the head tracking on. Can we see the airfield out there? Not yet. It's still 13 miles away. Directly in front of us. So Matt says he's been reading Raven 1 by Kevin Miller about an F-18 Hornet squadron on an aircraft carrier. That looks really interesting. Years and years ago I read Flight of the Intruder by Stephen Kuntz, and I ended up reading several more of his books where the character from Flight of the Intruder, I think it was Jake Grufton, is it? Goes up through the echelons of the of his military career. It was a fascinating series of books. But yeah, I think Flight of the Intruder was probably my favourite of the books that he wrote. There was one, I can't remember if it's to do with a spy plane or a flying saucer or something, or obviously a very, very classified, something along the lines of what was it called? Is it the TR-3B? The thing that was in all the conspiracy theory stories years ago, the black triangles that caused the Belgian government to chase them with F-16s and went to the press with the radar footage. Obviously, I was talking to someone the other day saying there was so much of that conspiracy stuff years ago. So, we've got a comment here that the 777 freighter variant is broken in Sim Update 3. I've not tried it. What's broken about it? Okay, we can see the airfield in front of us now. So let's come off the autopilot. Start to descend down to 1,000 feet. Come into the pattern altitude. We're coming in from about the right angle to go into the left pattern for 30. We're in about the right place. If anything, we're at too shallow an angle. We really should be coming in at 45 degrees to the airfield. You can see it here, look. It's quite a nice little diagram there. So getting the speed under control. And then when we get a good distance from the runway, we'll turn right to match its reciprocal. Go and watch the undercarriage come out. The lights should come on. Yeah, they just did, look. Put the nose autopilot on as well. Whoa, we've gone a bit low. I was going to hold it at 1,000 feet. Let's get some altitude back into this aeroplane, shall we? And turn reciprocal. There's the runway down there, but behind the engine nacelle, there it is. Or I think it is. Shall I look from the inside? I don't know. I've not looked at this airfield, so I don't know how well modelled it is. There it is, look. So, oh, it's overlaid, look, over the top of the scenery. There's a bit of a conflict. Tower Duke Golf Juliet Bravo Echo Kilo downwind for left pan into runway 30.
Duke Bravo Echo Kilo, runway 30, wind 320 at 9er, cleared to land.
Clear to land runway 30, Bravo Echo Kilo. Okay, we're back where we should have been. That's 1,000 feet. And we're going to turn around in a moment. We'll keep an eye on the glide slope. So it will come up to meet us at some point as we fly away from the airfield. We're only 2.5 miles out, look. I'm just doing this for a bit of fun, really. So you'll see the glide slope come up. When it comes to meet us, we'll turn. I'm not doing a very good job of holding altitude. So I've already put the flaps out to descent. There we go, the glide slope's just coming through. So which runway do we go for? I'm presuming the darker one. That's quite amusing, isn't it? It's quite rare that Flight Sim gets it that badly wrong. So the glide slope is for the one on the right.
500.
So maybe we do land on the one on the right. How strange. But the airfield that has drawn on the ground is the darker runway. Yeah, you can see that's just a photograph of the ground that hasn't been cleaned up. The beta out there and see what happens. Oh, it loses speed really quickly with the reverse pitch. And there is no taxiway at this end, is there? Which is super unhelpful.
Bravo Echo Kilo, taxi to parking at your discretion. Stay on this frequency.
Taxiing to parking is our discretion. We'll stay on this frequency, Bravo Echo Kilo. Yeah, it's a shame about the airport, isn't it? I didn't actually check it before setting out. So we find these things out. So I'm doing the good work for you. Taxiway just coming up on the right, look. The flaps in while we're taxiing. It's the fastest taxi ever, but you're allowed to taxi quickly on the runway. Closer, will he put one hand up? No. I'm not going to go and run him over on purpose. So, close all these things, turn everything off. Generator, has it got a middle position? No, it hasn't. That has got a middle position. Okay. Avionics off. I'll leave the battery on both for the moment. So that needs to go back to off. Just checking around. We should have had the landing lights off while we were taxiing, really. Turn the heating off. The only reason I'm being... Oh, actually, we should have had the... I'm going to put the avionics master power back on for a moment. I just want to make sure I go and turn some of these things off so I can see what's on and off. Because it will remember. Okay, I think we're a bit better now. So, and then if we scoot around, we should be able to unlock the door and see that from outside. There we go, we survived. So, anybody, I'm just looking at live stream comments, there's a few people saying they've bought various different aeroplanes. If I go and open a browser and go into a private window, if we go to, so I'll show you your experience. If you go to Ko-fi.com, actually no, go to johnbeckett.online. This is the best way to find all my stuff. And that will take you into a little website, and from there you can go to Ko-fi. Ko-fi is where all of my procedures live. And you can go to the shop. And if you just bought an aeroplane and you need a functional procedure to start that airplane up, you can find them all in here. So you can find all sorts of things in here, including the Vulcan and various other complicated aeroplanes. So they are functional procedures, so they are not to the nth degree of every procedure, but it's everything you need to do to get the airplane to work in a somewhat correct manner. So yeah, there's procedures in here for lots and lots of the airplanes, and for 2020 as well. If you go far enough back, you'll see around the time that 2024 came out. Before that, you'll find 2020 procedures. So obviously they've all been updated. The ones for this aircraft that were carried through, they've all been updated because all the keyboard combinations are completely different. So there's the Vulcan, for example. So there you go. So lots and lots of procedures to help you get up and running with the simulator. The other thing you can do is I've got a blog at Substack for all of the aviation stuff. So if you go and have a look at it, you can subscribe by email for free. And so anytime I do anything on YouTube, it goes onto the blog, and then you'll get an email notification if I've recorded something. Now and again, I do paid articles, which are, for example, if we go and have a look at one, it's saying, do I want a free trial? So you do get a free trial as well, where you can go and read some of the bigger articles. They tend to be like, sort of 10,000 word-ish kind of essays about things where I've gone and done a deep dive research into something I was interested in. Other than that, yeah, the blog just covers everything that I do. And like I said, free to subscribe. Alongside all of that, I was also one of the founders of Virtual Flight Online. So there's an airline there you can go play with on the internet. And it does a whole stack of stuff. It's got ACARs, and you can plug it into the simulator and it will track your flights. And you can do all sorts of stuff with it. So I'm just going to see newest pilots, best pilot, latest awards. There's all sorts of things. Anyway, I'll leave that there. Do go subscribe to the blog. Do go and have a look at the procedures. I'll see you all again soon. Okay. Take care and have a nice weekend, everybody.